it's Shelby here. Before we kick off today's episode, I just want to address something you might notice. We're currently working through a bit of an audio hiccup, but rest assured, we're on it. Thank you so much for your understanding as we strive to bring you the best listening experience possible. Now let's go ahead and dive into our mid-year wrap-up.
Well, hi, Jenna. Well, hi, Shelby. And hi, book friends. We are here with a very fun episode today.
We're already a bottle of wine in, so just
we are.
No, that's where we're going.
Oh, beautiful. We've got such a fun episode for you guys today. We are going to do our mid-year reading wrap-up.
Yeah.
We've got lots of stats. We've got our books we've read for this year. We've got our ratings.
We got our current reads too.
Hell yeah.
Well, everything.
We've got everything. Stay tuned. This is pretty much going to be a spoiler-free episode, so I feel like
this should be all spoiler-free. Should be any spoilers for anything. Probably we'll add some more things to your TBR. Sorry, not sorry.
It's what we do, okay?
That's what we're here for. No, it'll be good. Well, and also maybe some less good books to share too. So some ones you maybe can remove from your TBR if you want to, but we'll share it all. You know, we'll always give our real opinion.
Especially a bottle of wine in, of course we are.
For sure.
I love it. Well, before we get into the books, go ahead and give us a rating and a like on your favorite podcast. Wow. It's going to be that kind of episode.
It's like Ledge all over again.
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, go ahead and give us a like / a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform.
There we go. It's hard to say.
It is
tongue
hard
twister.
to say. And if you're looking for our socials, we've got them all in the description below. So, awesome. Let's get into our mid-year reading wrap-up.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jenna, let's talk about what we're currently reading.
Yes. Current reads. Okay,
Reads.
I am currently, let's say, 3/4 of the way into Oathbringer, which is, well, the first part of Oathbringer, which is the third book in the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson.
I love this.
Still great. I mean, I think Words of Radiance was my top book of the year so far.
Yeah,
so
for real.
Been fun to go into the next book. It's been equally good. I love, like, one of the female main characters in here, I just think is like, I don't know, just kind of funny. I just really love her. She vibes with me. I'm a big fan. And I've been waiting in this book there's been like someone who's kind of been in a separate physical area for a while and is finally back again.
Oh my
and I'm happy that that's where we're set. So I've been happy digging back into this.
Oh my
I took
gosh,
a little
I
break
love
to
it.
get into Red Rising, but I'm back in that.
And you know what I've noticed too? As we posted about reading Brandon Sanderson on our TikTok, people are like cult following Brandon Sanderson.
I mean, I'd say the same way that SJM has a cult following.
Brandon Sanderson
it's like a very different following.
Yes.
I don't know, there's some overlap. There's some people like both.
For real. But it's so cool to see.
It's fun. It's fun to have another author that has a ton of books out to just really dive deep into the world.
And it's so fun because obviously this is a very different world than SJM's world.
Yeah.
But people are equally obsessed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I love it so much.
Yeah, it's been super fun. So that's the one that I'm already in the middle of.
Yes.
But then also sort of my, about to start. So I'm not necessarily in progress yet. The Gale.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so pumped to finally get into this. I'm pretty sure it's like another like fantasy romance or maybe dystopian. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Was lucky enough to win this in a giveaway.
Oh, so
but
exciting.
I keep seeing the author post like little videos or clips of like the type of vibe of the book, and I just think it's gonna be really good. So that's definitely my priority TBR starting it soon.
Well, also talking about the author a little bit too. So we've been following Lo for years. Back when she was like a fitness influencer.
Yeah, she did like other influencer stuff before she wrote the book.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been so cool to see just like her personal transformation because I'm like, never in a million years would I thought she wrote a book, but watching her transform into this and just become like
an author.
Just become an author, right? Words are hard after a while.
I know. It's funny. I actually got turned on to this book because my sister followed her for other things, and then saw her posting about it. She's like, "This is the type of book you normally read, isn't it?" I was like, hell yeah. I'm super pumped. That's coming up soon.
Yeah, and she's so awesome, and I've just been following her journey for forever, so I'm like, it's so, I can't wait to read it this fall.
Well, okay, so what about you? What are you reading right now?
Okay, I'm currently reading, so my favorite way to read a book is a naked hardback. So I've got Golden Sun, maybe you can see it glowing a little bit in the video. It's the second in the Red Rising trilogy, and I am a little over halfway. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Kind of like I said with Red Rising, though, it is not a book I can like read right before bed where I'm falling asleep. Or
you gotta pay attention.
I have to pay attention. So, yes, it's fantastic. There's so much that happens in this like first half of the book that I'm like,
just wait till you get to the end, man.
I can't even imagine because you just finished it, right?
Yeah.
Would you rate it?
5 stars.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So then I've got Golden Sun. I've also got, and this was recommended to me to continue with the series by some girls I was at a cabin weekend recently.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hold on, your name's Miss Willa's Book Club and you haven't finished the freaking series? And I'm like, okay, fine. So, here I am. I am reading / listening to War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout.
Nice.
And I just got to a very specific part, and
the best scene in the whole book, if you've read that book, you know. 3.
We've been waiting for it.
That's all we gotta say about it. Yeah.
I'm like, when you know exactly what we're talking about.
I know that some people had mixed reviews on that. I love the War of Two Queens. I thought it was great.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. And I like that, kind of like I said with Red Rising, that listening to it, I lost a lot of the plot. With this series, I don't feel that way as much.
I think you could probably go back and forth more with that one. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like I don't have to pay attention as much. Like, there's a lot more of a romance subplot, and that's kind of what we're in it for. So it's like,
no, it's good.
It's been really fun, and I've been really liking it.
Fun.
Yes. And so those are the 2 physical / audiobooks that I'm in right now. I've also got an audiobook that was on Spotify, but my monthly hasn't renewed yet. So that's Lessons in Chemistry.
Oh, I have that show saved that I want to watch the show too.
There's a show?
And I want to read it also, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there's a show.
Apple TV. Man, I just recently got it to watch Dark Matter, and now I've realized how many other things are also on there, because I've also read the Foundation series, which is like a more classic sci-fi. Didn't realize there was a show about that on Apple TV. Lessons in Chemistry.
Stop.
Silo, which is another like sci-fi trilogy, or
Was that the
post-apocalyptic trilogy?
Sheep?
Wool, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It is that one actually, yeah. So it's got a lot. Apple TV's got a lot.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those
Anyways.
are like her reviews right
Fun.
now. I know, I've kind of got a mix of audiobooks. I've been really into audiobooks recently.
Yeah. Oh, I should say I'm still. I need to finish. I have. I'm like 2/3 of the way through. Keeper of Scarlet Petals.
Ooh.
I'm like 2/3 of the way through that, I think, and I love the narrator. I'm like really picky on audiobooks. I'm not a big audiobook person, but I really like the narrator on it. Just killed it, and I like think the story is kind of cute. I don't know. It's definitely more on the YA side, but I'm like very much enjoying it.
Oh my gosh.
Really gives me the same energy as the Cruel Prince series.
That's fun.
So if you like that, the Folk of the Air trilogy, I think you'd really like Keeper of Scarlet Petals.
Oh, that's so fun. Remember how we were talking about how, like, I think this is in our episode about A Fate Inked in Blood, talking about how when a narrator can really just, like, give that oomph and attitude.
Right.
So with War of Two Queens, I feel like she embodies Poppy
really well.
So well.
Yeah.
And so it's just so fun.
It makes a difference, especially when you have a character with a lot of sass.
Exactly. Okay, well now, so that's what we're currently reading. Let's get into some stats for the year. I think this is going to be so fun. So we're going to go through our stats, and then we're going to go through our actual reads for the year. We're running our good reads, and we're going to start from our 5-star reads to our lowest star reads. So let's get
we'll tell you the best first.
Stats. Hell yes.
I don't save the best for last. I have the best first.
As we should, though. I'm like, this is what you need to read right now. Stop your TBR and read this right now.
Fun.
So let's get into some stats.
Well, how many books have you read so far this year?
Good idea. Well, first of all, what's your Goodreads goal?
My Goodreads goal this year is only $75. It's been 100 the last couple years, and I got 98 and then 97.
Yeah.
So it's like just shy, and then I feel like last year I was like really short on that 100 book goal.
Yeah.
And just because we take a little bit longer with having episodes and stuff too. And so I've been a little bit slower to get through books. So I made it only 75 this year. So that's my goal, and I'm at 36. So I'm 3 books behind schedule.
Nice. I'm at 34. Yeah, which is crazy because like I don't actually think, I feel like in the past couple of months I just like really haven't had that much time to read. So it has been, that was more than I actually thought it would be. But yeah, it was cool to feel like I'm like about halfway. And we're about halfway through the year too. So
well, that's a lot more than you read any other year.
Last year my goal was 75 and I hit 75.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. I feel like this year I also have a job that's a little bit more demanding. So my Storygraph. So I ended up plugging everything into Storygraph because I love the way that they portray the books that you've read. I've read 14,234 pages.
Ooh!
Isn't that fun?
Oh, now I want to check that on mine too. I think it says like 15,408 pages.
Hell yes!
Cheers. A lot of pages. That's a good thing.
That was a very good thing. My face was just like, oh my gosh, that was so good.
Yeah. What format do you tend to lean towards? Have you been more of a Kindle reader, audiobook, physical? What's your spread look like?
My spread has been 0% Kindle. I DNF'd 1.
Wow.
1 book out of 34. I have not read a single Kindle book this year, and I cannot believe that.
That's so wild.
I know. I think this is the year that I might have to delete Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, and just like start actually like buying a Kindle book if you need to. Yeah.
I guess I just haven't been using it.
I've been thinking about that too. I mean, especially because the prices went up another $3 since I started.
Really?
Well, it was $10 a month when I first got it. Yeah, it's 13 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And that's like just enough that I feel like you can almost get 2 Kindle books for that.
Exactly.
So I'm like, as long as you're not reading more than 2 Kindle books a month,
right.
It's like almost more worth it. Just buy it.
No. So with that being said, honestly, so 75% of my books this year have been physical copies.
Nice.
Which I love because at the beginning of the year I said I kind of wanted to get through some of my Kindle. That's a lie. I kind of wanted to get through more of my physical books.
Yeah.
And like build up my library a little bit and everything. That being said, I've just added to my library.
Yeah. I'm running out of space.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so the other 24-ish% has been audiobooks.
Nice.
Yeah.
You had a lot of good driving time earlier this year. I think it's perfect for audiobooks.
And I still have like a half-hour-ish commute to work, and so I can still listen. But I've been finding that like listening to audiobooks while I've been cleaning or doing other chores around the house has been really fulfilling. And especially with Word to Queens, it's been really fun.
Fun. Good.
Yeah. What does your spread look like for the year?
I don't have a single audiobook. I have not. I have not finished a single audiobook all year. I'm not really as much of an audiobook. I have that one in progress.
Yes.
I'm gonna finish it. But yeah, I have not finished a single audiobook.
Yeah.
And I'm like 1/3 Kindle, 2/3 physical.
Yours has really gone down this year too.
No, I think that was actually about what it was last year too.
Really?
Yeah, I still prefer physical books.
Yeah.
But some people have an emotional support water bottle. I have an emotional support Kindle. My Kindle
And now it has
comes
stickers.
with me everywhere. It goes,
Oh my
I'm like
God.
going to an appointment, I bring my Kindle with to read for 5 minutes in the waiting area. I'm like going on a flight, I put my Kindle and my physical book in there so that if it's too dark, I can pull out my Kindle.
Yeah.
My husband falls asleep too early, I pull out my Kindle. My Kindle is with me everywhere.
Yes.
So yes, I still read them. And it's funny because then my Kindle books are always the ones that bypass my TBR because
Yes.
I'll like have books physically that I want to read,
Yeah.
that it'll be dark, and so I'll be like, well, I can only read things off KU here.
And those usually tend to be
Spasa.
spicy.
So yes, so I'm still a little bit more physical, but
Love that though. Oh, that's so fun. That brings me into some genres
yeah.
that we've read this year. So, my story graph said.
Tell me while I pour wine.
As we should. So this must have been.
Can you hear that?
Oh, that's gorgeous. This really is lunch all over again. If y'all haven't read Ledge by Stacey McEwan or
Read it and
listened
watch
to our
our episode.
episode, you guys, she's incredible.
We love you, Stacey.
We love you, Stacey. That was literally our first episode. We were so drunk.
Anyways, okay, tell me about your genres, sorry.
So genres after wine. So I'm pretty sure that story graph, if I had a fantasy / romance, it was considered romance. So
Okay.
out of my 34 books, I have 24 that had a romance aspect.
Wow.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, it
That's
doesn't
showing
either.
into a T.
Yeah. You like romance in your books
I
for
love
sure. Because you like the people.
I love the people. I love so big. My fantasy books were 23 out of 34.
Yes.
I had young adult 4.
That's it?
That's it. That shocked me.
I'm very curious which ones it was categorizing as YA then.
Me too. Uh-huh.
Because just knowing what books you read, even what books we read together, I
Exactly.
feel like there's more than that. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, continue.
Contemporary was 4.
Yeah, that sounds about right too.
Yeah. Thriller was 3.
Oh, that's more than I expected.
Oh, I looked at those. Silent Patient, No One Can Know.
I didn't realize you read all those this year though.
Yeah. Just kind of in between everything.
Yeah, love
You
that.
know,
Okay.
you know. Mystery 3. I think that was it.
Probably the same. Probably
Yeah.
the same. Yep.
Dystopian 1. Powerless? Question mark.
No, Red Rising.
Red Rising is considered a dystopian.
I think dystopian
I
sounds
love that. Okay.
You don't think so?
Okay.
I bet that was the one.
So about that. We had erotica at 1. I don't remember reading erotica this year.
I mean, you didn't have your Kindle, so.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I didn't really read on my Kindle. What erotica did I read this year? What more do I need to read this year? Because okay, that's some more that came out. I guess.
Well, now I know what I need to add.
Same here. And then I have a science fiction 1, Red Rising, and memoir 1, which is I'm Glad That My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I loved that book.
Oh, good.
And Crime 1, which I think is Middle Tide. It was a book of the month that I really liked it. It was really good. I finished it in like 3 or 4 days.
That's kind of fun because I feel like they must like double up on some of the genres, but I kind of like that they didn't lump
It was
some
so
just in
fun.
one.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved
Fine.
it. Where are you at, girl?
Well, so I only gave each book one genre.
That's honestly, I kind of wish that this did too, because I wish it would have been like fantasy romance, fantasy sci-fi.
Well,
fantasy.
I did it manually, to be fair.
Okay.
I signed what I decided I thought.
But though, you are more savvy with Excel than I am, so.
It's my job, man.
I love it. I'm looking at her spreadsheet right now, and I'm like, damn, that looks so good.
So my top genres were fantasy romance as number 1. Not a shocker there.
Not a shocker.
So there was 9 books that I classified as that. I think one of them was YA fantasy romance, and I think maybe the rest were adult fantasy romance.
Yes.
I'm not sure there.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Sci-fi was number 2 with 7 books.
Oh.
Regular fantasy, so not fantasy romance, just regular fantasy, with 6 books. That was next. Then romance, which I think was probably contemporary romance and erotica. I think I lumped those together.
Okay, how many?
And that was 5.
Ooh.
YA was 4. And then other and thriller both had 1.
Ooh. You've only read one thriller.
I know. I was kind of surprised by that too.
Yeah.
I think I have had the only one left by Riley Sager on my TBR for a while, and I just keep not grabbing it.
Yeah, I get it. Was that the one that you read this year?
No, I read None of This Is True.
Yes. Yes, I love that.
So yeah, so that's
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
But another thing I thought was kind of fun, on a somewhat related then, because a lot of fantasy romance, I mean, and sci-fi and fantasy in general, I think a lot of those ones in general are series. And so then I was kind of curious, how many new series did I start versus how many series did I continue?
That's a really good thing. Yes.
And I did read more sequels than I did first in series.
Really?
Yeah, so I read, when I just finished another, so I read 13 sequels, and I started 11 new series.
Oh my gosh.
And I read 7 standalones, and then 3 rereads.
Okay, so just counting through the ones that I have, so I had 17
New series?
new series.
I thought you would have a lot. I kind of thought you were going to have a lot of new series, to be honest.
Holy crap. Okay, let me count up how many I have of continuing series.
Okay.
I only have 5.
You only have 5 sequels?
I only have 5 sequels. Well, because that's not really counting, like, we reread The Iron Flame.
Yeah, I counted reread separately.
Holy cow. I started so many new series this year.
17 new series?
17 new series.
Well, okay, when we go through to talk about books, you gotta tell us which were the new series you started and if you think you'll
100%.
continue them.
100%. That is such a good thought. No wonder we were literally talking before we started the podcast, and I was like, yeah, next year's gonna be so busy. We have so many new series to continue. Like, and you're like, yeah. It's because I started
You started a lot.
And to be fair,
I mean, I
a lot
started
of these, a lot of these are ones that are going to continue. So
Yeah, we were already planning.
We'll see.
But
that is so funny.
that's super funny, actually.
Were you expecting me to start a lot of series?
Yeah, I was. I think that where you're at in your reading journey, I was expecting you to have a lot of new series.
And I did, clearly. So.
But
so fun!
oh man.
Oh my gosh.
What about just like ratings? Where are we at with ratings? You have a somewhat average spot in your ratings. You have like, what do you think?
My average rating was a 3.5/4.
Yeah, that's probably about where I am too.
That was a little lower than it was last year though, and I don't know if it was because I just have read more, and so this year I was like rating things a little bit lower, or if I'm just not reading the great books this year. What's going on?
I was wondering that too. I think that I maybe am becoming a little bit tougher of a reviewer because I also compared myself to the average Goodreads review.
Yeah.
And as a whole, across all of the books that I've read, I'm an average of 0.25 lower.
Oh,
So it made me wonder if maybe I'm just getting tougher than it used to be because I've had so many books set the bar so high. And now, all of a sudden, I'm like, these books are good. But like Powerless being a good example of that is good. But it wasn't great.
Yeah,
right? Because now I've had other books that I think are better. And it's harder to compare. So I thought that was kind of interesting to see that in previous years, I think I've been a super easy reviewer.
Same.
And I still think I probably am higher than average for a lot of them.
Goodreads says no, but...
Goodreads says no, but I don't know. I mean, my average was still, if I'm eyeballing it off this chart, it probably was somewhere between 3.5 and 4 also.
Yeah.
But,
I hate to give books bad reviews. I hate that.
I know, it hurts my heart.
Me too. I'm like, if somebody puts effort into writing something and marketing it and publishing it, all the things, I'm like, I don't want to give a bad review.
I know, but I think in the last year or two, I also have just become more comfortable that I appreciate when other people give real reviews.
Definitely.
Because you can give constructive negative reviews. You don't have to bash a book to give it a less than 3-star review, right? You can also give constructive criticism for other potential readers so that they know what they're getting into. Because what some people will say is a 1 or 2-star book, I might say is a 5 because I like those things,
100%.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I've tried to be really transparent, and I think that's part of why my reviews have gone down too. So I've tried to be really transparent about ones that I don't like, and instead of not reviewing it, I just do give it a real review.
Right. Or you've also said, like, you're also not really good at, like, picking books that you want to read. You know that are going to be good.
Yeah, I pick books that I think I'm going to like.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why my ratings
There's
are
a reason
average
why you
high.
like them.
Yeah. I mean, my average rating is still pretty high.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Jenna, out of the year 2024, what's your best/worst reading month that you've had?
2 years in a row now.
Shut up.
February has been my worst reading month.
Why?
And not just because it has the fewest days. Like, you would think it'd be maybe one book different. 2 years in a row, I have only read one book in the month of February.
You only read one book?
I don't.
What was your book this year? Do you know?
Oh, I'd have to look.
Was it Iron Flame?
It was. I think that might have been it.
I think that was what we were doing during that time.
Yeah. I think that was the only book I read in February.
I mean, it makes sense because that was a giant book. But, holy crap! That's so
2 years in a row, only one book. Isn't that funny?
Book?
I think it's because
crap.
it's snowboarding season.
Yeah, actually, I could totally.
I like genuinely think
that
that's
actually makes sense.
I think that's the main reason why but I just thought that was funny that it's 2 years in a row. So that's my worst reading month. And then my best reading month was May, which actually, besides, so November was my highest last year. But of my first 6 months last year, May was my highest last year also.
Shut up.
I don't know what it is about that time of year, but I think it's just like the weather gets nice and I want to sit on the patio and read.
Definitely. Me, that's how I am too. So my month with the least amount of books read was March with 4 books. And then my most was May with 8.
You were like overall a little bit more stable than me. I guess my one book in February really dipped me out.
Which is
You're
funny.
a little more even of a reader.
I know. Which is funny though, because like in May, I was about to start a new job. Like it's funny that I like, in a transition period, I was reading more books. But I also didn't snowboard as much this year. Like I only went a few times, and so I didn't have that as much. But that's kind of funny. One book in February.
2 years in a row, only one book.
Oh my gosh! That's crazy.
Weird, yep.
Oh, that is so weird. Okay, so what do we want to do next? So,
Well, should we talk about our 5 stars real quick? I mean, we've talked about
my god, yeah.
a little bit, so we'll go quick for you guys.
Let's wrap up. Okay, so my first 5-star. You're just hearing all the wine glasses. Hell yeah. Go watch Ledge if you haven't. Read the book. Watch our video. It's hilarious. Okay, so 5 stars of this year. So we started out with SJM's Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, and I cannot believe I'm still so sad. Look at all my pulled out tabs. That's hilarious. I have a paperback of this, Toby. But then my next 5-star read is House of Sky and Breath. It is hard copy, and everything else I will buy is hard copy.
I hate a mismatched series.
It is such a bummer that they're mismatched, and I wish they were together, but whatever. Both 5-star reads. I think I liked the first one of the series the best out of all of them.
I agree. I do too.
Oh, it's such a bummer. Such a bummer.
Okay, so pull out, as long as you're at it, pull out the third one. So we've got episodes on those 2 books. If you've not read them yet, go there.
We do, yes.
We also have an episode on this book.
Oh, this book I think is one of my favorite reads of the entire year.
Again.
This is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the second of the Empyrean series. It is absolutely gorgeous and has a fun That's a lie. It's not fun. It's black sprayed edges.
I know the first edition of Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm both have really cool sprayed edges with dragons. And then the only version we can get of Iron Flame is plain black. Like, Rebecca, you need to do a reprint of Iron Flame with cool edges, and I would buy another copy just to have dragons.
100% I would. Anyways,
5 stars.
5 stars. Probably my favorite read of the entire year. I think I enjoyed it more the second time than I did the first time.
I really liked it the second time too.
Yeah. All right, Jenna. What are your 5-star reads of this year?
Okay, I got one of them. I talked about a bunch. I won't say too much more, but woo! Words of Radiance, second book in the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. 5 stars, easy. Probably my favorite book I've ever read in my entire life. The best. Read it. Get into the Cosmere.
Oh, love it. Have to start with Mistborn.
I'll do, maybe another time I'll do a suggested reading order once I get a little bit further in this, but I've read a lot of Brandon Sanderson now, so.
Let's do like a SGM reading order / Brandon Sanderson reading order.
Oh, yeah.
/ How Would You Read Certain Series?
And the Twisted Sisters.
Oh,
they got
that's a good one. And they have a new series coming out, so.
Okay, yep. So that was one of my 5 stars.
Stay tuned, friends. Stay tuned.
Okay, so what else? I know you've got another one over there. I've got a couple over there.
That was 5 stars? My first new read of the year that was 5 stars. 5 Broken Blades by May Corland. Are you kidding me? This was fun. This was heist. This was like, there's
multiple romance subplots. All different
romances. There's a traitor, you guys. If you know me at all, and you know that I love a traitor situation,
Shelby loves a traitor.
and you know that in specific series that we've very heavily covered, that I think there's going to be a traitor. We love this. We love
See,
this.
and I love the found family and the like unlikely allies bit. Forced to work together. I love that.
It is so funny to see between the two of us. Oh my god. It is hilarious to see between the two of us and between like, you know that I love like the friends and the romance and the people plots, and you love the plot.
I love the plot.
You do love the plot.
I do love the plot.
To see what we like differently in 5 Broken Blades.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
funny.
very true.
I loved it, but
There's something for everybody in it.
there really is. Honestly, if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. This was my first new 5-star read of the entire year, and
it was 4.5 stars for me too, so it's still very high.
So good. This was phenomenal, and I cannot wait for the sequel to come out.
Yep.
Oh.
Now we have an episode on that too, so feel free to go back and listen if you
Go check it out.
read it. Okay, so I'm gonna lump 2 of my 5 stars together because it's the same series.
I love it.
So Calamity and Fiasco by Constance Bay. They're both sci-fi romances. Calamity came out sometime last year, I think maybe November, and Fiasco just came out, I think maybe in June sometime.
Yeah.
But luckily I was fortunate enough to get an ARC, so I think I read it in like February. And I'm already dying for the last book. Comes out in 2025. It's so cute. There's even a little like dragon pet friend sort of thing, like a little baby pet companion in the second book, and it's just great. It's super hot. It's really fun.
That's so
I love
cute.
the overarching plot that's coming between all 3 of the books from like a storyline perspective beyond the romance too. Excellent. Love it. 5 stars for both of them.
Incredible.
Obsessed.
So this next 5-star that I have from this year is Of Darkness and Fire by Amber Palmer. And clearly I did not have a ton of 5 stars this year, so this means a lot. Holy freaking crap. I cannot believe that I haven't started the second book after
I can't believe it. Especially if you liked this one so much, like the second book is by far, I mean, not only is it the best in the series, but I think it's the best book that Amber Palmer has ever written.
Shut
It is so good. I sobbed hysterically.
Oh my God.
It's the best. It's so good.
I know, we've been so busy with like new series. Clearly I've been starting. And so I'm like, the second half of my year needs to be finishing series I've already read.
Priority TBR is Of Truth and Traitors.
Priority
Pretty sure
TBR.
that's the second one.
That is absolutely Of Truth and Traitors. This is the second one of this one.
You can tell.
Yeah,
you know.
I know you know. I can tell because you said it so fast.
It's great, guys. Gotta read it. We
Oh my
love
gosh,
you.
I love it. And if Shelby's only had like 7 5-stars in this entire year, and I feel like that was so low. Like, honestly, when I looked at my numbers, I was like, wow, that's a lot higher than I thought, because I felt like I'd only had like 2 or 3 5-stars this entire year. And then I was like, wait, I reread a ton of them.
Yeah.
So my only new 5 stars of the year were really 5 Broken Blades, Of Darkness and Fire, and then one more. That
Go ahead, pick it up.
Later.
Pick up the other one. Oh, 2 more. Oh, no, you didn't get that one 5 stars. Never mind.
I didn't.
Never mind. Go ahead.
The next one is going to be very surprising, because we didn't rate the first one that high. My next 5-star is Powerful by Lauren Roberts. 5 stars. I think I gave Powerful 3 stars.
I was gonna say, I have Powerful over here too.
Or I'm sorry,
Or Powerless. Powerless.
Yeah, I said it too.
I gave Powerless 3.5 stars. And I think you had 4.5 and you brought it down to 4.
I think after book club, yeah.
But the fact that you gave Powerful 5 stars.
5 stars.
Gives you hope for Reckless, for sure.
Exactly. And I pre-ordered it and I have it waiting for me at home.
Hell yeah.
The only thing is, I'm in the middle of Red Rising.
Yeah.
And it's so different that I'm like in an emotional, like I want to read Red Rising type of phase. But with Powerful, because I'm so emotion filled, I'm like, this made me sob like a baby.
You love books that make you cry.
I love books that make me cry. And Powerful freaking did that. And to understand kind of the background between like what was happening with the side character, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. I feel like it added so much, and I feel like it increased her writing too, and so it makes me very hopeful for Reckless. So
did it increase your rating for Powerless at all, knowing more of what was going on in that side character's head during Powerless?
No, because she wasn't like as impactful as a second character. It just like, it really just gave more of a side story to it. It didn't give as much to like the main character that we were learning about. It just made what happened more meaningful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it make the ending of Powerless more meaningful?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I think I really liked that. It made me really excited to see Lauren's writing become more progressed.
She's grown into herself. I love that.
She is growing, and I love to be there for that freaking journey. So, oh, love it. What is your next?
Okay, so I'm just gonna lump these together because I read the whole series this year. But this is the Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch. If you've listened to probably almost any other of our recommendation videos, I am obsessed with Blake Crouch. I love it. He writes mostly sci-fi thrillers, and this fits in that again. I gave Pines, which is the first one, 4.5 stars. I gave Wayward 5 stars, although I did only give The Last Town 3 stars. And it's less because I didn't like the book, and more because I would say book 3, The Last Town, bridges more into horror, and I wasn't expecting that.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is pretty gory at some parts, and I just wasn't totally anticipating it to be quite that gory. I think the Blake Crouch does a really good job of like his main characters having realistic family dynamics of like, I love my wife, but our life isn't perfect kind of thing, you know? And so like that type of feel out of this, like I loved the conclusion of it, and I liked, I don't know, I thought that was all really cool. The last page, I wanted to scream, oh my god.
Oh my god!
That's all I'll say. And like overall, I think I would give the series a 4.5.
Oh, definitely.
Even if it was just that I wasn't expecting it to be so gory.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason the last I keep down. But Wayward specifically, the second one I gave 5 stars because I was like really in it. I think I read it on one plane ride, start to finish.
Holy cow! I wish I could read that back.
And they're not that big of books.
No, this is true. This is true.
My last 5 star wasn't a 5 star for you, but absolutely was for me. Grab it.
Gotcha.
It was Red Rising. Amazing!
Amazing. And let me just say though, after our book club and after our podcast about it, I rounded it up to 5 stars.
Is it like 4.5 rounded up, or is it actually 5?
It was 4.5, rounded up to 5 stars, because it was the only sci-fi I've ever read.
That's fair. That's super fair. It doesn't have to be 5 for you.
But it's one of my favorites I've ever read this year, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing.
Oh,
Also, I got my husband to read it, and he read it in 2 sittings, and is already halfway through the next book. So
hold on. We need to have a James Pick introduction into the podcast.
Maybe we'll have a special guest during our next
How
one.
fun would that be? Let's get Jenna's husband on the podcast. Yes.
So that was 5 stars, and then this is an honorary 5 stars, although not really exactly in the, I don't know, same realm as the ones we're talking about. But there was a essay by Octavia Butler. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Is she was in a movie? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
She also writes, I guess sci-fi is probably the right category. Parable of Sower is like one of the, I think, maybe more popular for series. She probably has other ones too. That's the one I'm familiar with.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that series, and I don't know, the books I've read by her too. And so she had an essay that came out, which is a few rules for predicting the future.
Ooh.
It's only 36 pages, but it's a beautiful book. It's bound with like a lot of illustrations too, and I don't know, it was like a really positive looking to the future moment, and I very much enjoyed it. And thank you, Net Galley, for the arc on that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Incredible.
So that's my last 5 star.
That is so fun. So I had a ton of 4 stars.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where the bulk of my things came into, because I feel like I just had a ton of new series, right?
Yeah.
So my first 5 stars that I want to talk about is
4 stars.
Thank you. My first 4 stars that I want to talk about is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And I listened to this on Audible, and she narrated it. And this book, I felt like, gosh, it invoked so many emotions. It invoked like the parental emotions. It invoked like herself like eating emotions. It invoked like inner growth things. And this one, like, granted I didn't rate it 5 stars, but I'm like, I kind of wish I would have, because I think about it every single day. It really hit home.
It was more personal.
It was very personal, and it hit home for sure. And yeah, I feel very connected and just.
Yeah, no, much more lighthearted now. Apologize for the change in vibe.
No, you're fine.
The Spanish Love Deception.
Oh my god.
We did this as our February book club book, and I gave this 4 stars. I thought it was super cute. I don't know. I mean, there's like a couple parts that are maybe a little bit cringy but it's contemporary romance, and it always gets a little cringy. I thought it was pretty cute. And I was also surprised to see that this was my 3rd most highly rated book of the year. So not like from a stars rating, but like from a number of rating. Like this is the 3rd most popular book.
Which is crazy.
So many people have read this book.
So many people have read this book.
So I thought that was kind of a fun fact to add into.
So this is the first book that I've ever listened to that is a dramatized version. And this is Crave by Tracy Wolff.
I didn't even realize you listened to that.
I did.
Did you like it?
I really liked it.
I thought it was pretty fun.
Stars.
I thought it was pretty fun.
The funniest thing was, though, and I probably will never forget this. So halfway through the book, where she's like, I'm throwing up in the dorms, it's a dramatized version, and so somebody is throwing up in the background, and they're like, and I'm like, while the person is talking, somebody's throwing up in the background. Also, at the end, where very intimate things are happening, there are very interesting noises happening, and when people are kissing, it is very.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, it was so funny, but I liked it, so I will definitely continue the series, but I'll probably continue it on audio, because
you already started it there. I will say, the first book of Crave of that series I thought it was like just okay, and I wasn't even sure I was going to continue. And I think I've only read like books 2 through 4. I don't think I've read the last couple, but I liked those ones way more. Like if you liked the first one, I actually like very much enjoyed it because the first book I felt like was a knockoff Twilight.
Oh
but the second book stands alone a little bit more.
Really?
To me, at least it felt a little bit different.
So you guys have a gist of
I
what
really
happens?
enjoyed it.
Maybe continue it on physical copy?
Yeah.
No,
I mean audio is fine. I just meant like I would encourage you to continue it.
Good to know, though. Oh my god, that's
fun.
so funny. It was
Very fun.
It was a ride for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so my next two, I know that I've talked about at least briefly in one of our other, like what we're currently reading episodes, and that's Air Awakens and Fire Falling. So Fire Falling is the second book of the series, which I realize is not a trilogy. There's 5 of them.
Holy crap!
So this is just the first 2 books of the trilogy. I gave them both 4 stars. It's YA fantasy. YA fantasy romance, I guess. Probably I would put it in the romance category still. Cute, very YA. I thought it was a good time. I had a great time with it. Read it on Kindle Unlimited. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's a great one. Get a little bit of the traveling the world kind of adventure side of it. Lots of exploring your powers that nobody has had in thousands of years kind of feel.
That's fun.
It's a good time.
Air Awakens.
4 stars. Yep, Air Awakens.
Oh, I like that.
By Elise Kova.
Ooh. My next one is a mystery/crime, which is funny because I wasn't expecting myself to love this one. And from Book of the Month, I was like, let's try something different. It's Middle Tide by Sarah Crouch. Unsure if she's related to Blake Crouch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? But I loved this one. This one starts with a mystery and it kind of goes back in time, and then you kind of bump back and forth. And it was really fun, and it was like Native American vibes, and like they're in the wilderness and lots of things are happening, and you start to see like how things are built into a murder case. And so it was very cool, and I finished it in like less than a week, and I really liked it. Mystery/crime. So if you like that, Middle Tide by Sarah Crouch's favorite, I really liked it.
Fun.
It's got a really, really pretty cover.
Nice.
It kind of looks like Credence, but like a little bit different.
Nice. Also a great book.
Yes, also.
Well, as long as we're on thrillers, I'll pull up mine. I know I've talked about this one too. None of This Is True.
Yes.
By Lisa Jewell. I've read some other Lisa Jewell. Love those too. This one was equally great. Also gave that 4 stars. Highly recommend reading it in a physical or Kindle copy and not listening.
Don't listen to it.
I know you listened to it and you didn't like it as much.
No.
I think the formatting helps you a lot with following along the story. This is one of the most unsettling main female characters that I think I've read in a thriller, and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Super good. And about a podcast.
Exactly. I know. I wish I would have read it rather than listen to it, because I just didn't get as much from it.
Yeah.
Such bummer. My next one, which I know is also on your list, is A Fate to Blood by Danielle Jensen. This is my 4-star. There we go. A Fate to Blood. A Fate to Blood. And this one I really liked because it was like a Viking background and it had that Norse mythology, and it was super fun. We love the romance in it.
Bjorn is
chef's kiss. Bjorn is chef's kiss. Top tier. I expected it to be a 5-star because of everything that I had seen on social media. So I was like a little bummed that it wasn't. But I also went from audio to physical, and I think I'm just realizing that that's just not what Shelby needs to do, because I feel like I miss more when I'm just listening to it rather than when I'm actually reading the physical copy. And I feel like more lighthearted books is something that audiobooks are going to be audiobooks are going to be more suited for.
A Fate Inked in Blood was sadly my biggest letdown of the year. Not that I thought it was bad, right? I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah.
But I also thought it was going to be 5 stars. So this was my biggest letdown of the year.
Oh,
and 5 Broken Blades was my biggest surprise of the year. I thought that was the one that I thought was going to be a 4. Like, just from the concept and it being a Red Tower book and stuff, I thought maybe it was going to be 4. And it was like strongly one that I really liked. And this was one I thought for sure I was going to love, and I thought it was just okay. I mean, not okay, it was good, but it didn't stand out. Oh my god.
This is Ledge all over again.
Oh my
Holy shit. For those of you who aren't watching the video, I just spilled on myself.
Well, yeah, except that I was the one spilling myself a ledge, so at least we're mixing it up for once.
This is true. But I think my biggest letdown of the entire year was House of Flame and Shadow.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably true. Yeah.
Which is so unfortunate because I gave both House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Wrath 5 stars.
Whoops.
And then we have this big old honking boy.
Big boy.
Big old honky. And I started reading it like literally the day it came out, and it took me like a month to read.
Yeah. So, Hope Fast was 3.5 for us. We've got episodes out on these too if you want more details, but it was okay.
It was okay.
We were a little disappointed. There were good things about it. There were bad things about it. I still am going to read the next ones when they come out.
Oh, 100%. Anything that Shannon puts out, I'm going to freaking read.
Okay, so my next 4 stars, I'm going to lump them together because it's the same author. That's Warbreaker and Arcanum Unbound, or Unbounded, excuse me, both by Brandon Sanderson. So Warbreaker is a standalone book set in the Cosmere. So that's the like broader Brandon Sanderson world. Think like the Marvel universe. Equivalent of that, right, is the Cosmere, a bunch of different worlds set in the same universe. So Warbreaker is a standalone in that world, although you see hints of it then later in other books as well. This is the first book that I didn't give 5 stars by Brandon Sanderson. I liked it. I didn't love it. It's his most romantic, I'd say, of any of the books. And well, I love you, Brandon Sanderson. I don't think that romance is your strongest writing category. So it was good. I'm glad I read it because I did pick up that going into some other books. I did pick up the little crossover moments, which was nice. And Arcanum Unbounded is the collection of short stories also set in the Cosmere.
Yes.
So there's like one for Mistborn, and there's one for Elantris, and there's Edge Dancer, which is book 2.5 in the Stormlight Archives. They also gave those 4 stars. They were fine. They were good. I was just ready to get back.
Yeah,
you were. I think I was a little impatient. So those both got 4 stars for me.
Oh my gosh, I bet you were though. I have, this series is called Kingdom of Lies. The first one is A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark. I listened to this entire series. I freaking loved it. Like, it's not the most original, but it was freaking entertaining. And
Good.
I loved it. Like, I blew through the first one, blew through the second one, ran out of Spotify credits, and I was like, shoot, I had to wait for the next one. And I'm like, at that point right now where I have to wait for the 4th one.
Yeah.
The 4th one just came out too. And I'm like, I'm unable to start it because I don't have any Spotify credits.
I hate that. That's the worst.
Oh, me too. So I've loved it.
Good. Okay, so my next 4 stars is Naughtier.
I see it.
And that's Nanny for the Neighbors.
I feel like
if you like reverse harem, if you want like the boys are friends but almost have a brother feel to it, and that they've shared before her, so it's not like new. They like opened the concept already. They almost talk her into it more than vice versa.
Oh.
It's great. It's really hot. The scenes are great. Big fan. 4 stars. Great erotica.
I feel like this is a point where I've read so much fantasy, so much romance, so much sci-fi. I feel like I'm in the mood for an erotica. So if you guys have a good erotica, please put it in the description down below.
Oh yeah,
Please.
reply on Spotify. I think you can respond to the episode.
We'll put like what did you think of the episode? And please just like put like erotica / this is what you need to read. Please send us your favorites because Shelby's in the mood for some some just like spicy books. So, yes.
Sweet. What else you got in 4 stars?
My next 4-star, which is technically fantasy, by Allie Hazelwood.
That's paranormal romance.
It's Brian.
That's paranormal romance.
I know it's paranormal, but it's like
it's fantasy,
paranormal.
yeah.
But it was so funny. I also listened to this one and it cracked me the frick up. There was one point in like the 75-ish% where I was like, wow, I've never read an Omegaverse. I don't know what this means. And if you read that, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It is not what you're expecting.
No. It's not.
I think I'm really funny.
I think you're really funny too.
Okay, yep.
I remember being in my car, holding my steering wheel, being like, what the fuck does that look like? How do I even picture what is happening right now? And to this day, I am unsure.
Don't look it up. That's all I gotta say.
Does that mean I should look it up?
Oh man, okay. My next one I'm gonna pair together again because they're 2 books in the same series, and that's That One Night, which is the novella prequel to Pucking Around by Emily Rath.
Wait, you read more of it?
Read more of what? Pucking Around?
Yeah.
That was the, like...
Oh, was the
book.
prequel?
Yeah, the prequel was
Oh, it was
That One Night.
included. Okay, gotcha.
Well, no, I mean, it's 2 separate books, but yeah, it's a novella prequel. So the novella prequel I gave 4 stars to, but Pucking Around itself, I only gave 3 stars to.
Oh.
There was like pieces of it that were pretty hot, but it just felt way longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
Way
Wasn't it
longer.
like 600 pages or something?
I think it was closer to 700. Yeah, it was very long.
Jeez.
But it's another reverse harem. That One Night is not a reverse harem. That's only one dude. But Pucking Around is a reverse harem. And yeah, definitely, like, there were pieces of it that I liked, but it was just so long.
Okay, another 4-star that I have that was actually sent to us by PR is My Dark Beast by Olivia Wildenstein. That was kind of like a Sleeping Beauty. And I loved this one. It clearly set it up for more books. And I thought this one was so fun.
And that's one of your most underrated books too, right? Like one of the fewest reviews of the year.
Yes.
Like on Goodreads, there's like the fewest readings on that book.
You are absolutely right. This one only had 1,700 ratings on it, which I was shocked by because it was so fun. And I'm like, how do I get this out? How do I get this out? Like, more people need to read this. It was so fun.
Well, on a similar note, I just got this one.
Oh,
Lies That Bleed. And also, just like, look at how gorgeous this is.
Also, we got 2 books.
Yeah,
2!
we have the paperback and the hardback special edition. And there's some really pretty, there's like art underneath it, and there's like art and end pages. Anyways, I literally read this in one sitting. Like, I sat down for a couple hours and finished it start to finish without stopping.
Right, she pulled this book off her shelf and I go, oh, have you read that yet? And you go, I literally read it in one sitting. I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you love Fourth Wing, you need to read Lies That Bleed. I feel like this has all the energy that I liked out of Fourth Wing, except you get even more creatures. Like, it's not just dragons. You get other creatures too, which is super fun.
So fun.
Male love interest is hot. Cover is beautiful. It's a nice short book. Fast, easy read. 4 stars. I really enjoyed it.
So Lies That Bleed by Leah Stone.
Yes.
Leah Stone. Also, thank you so much for that package. Are you kidding me? 2 books. It comes in a protective package. Like, that was incredible. Thank you so much. My next 4th read that we've got that we haven't talked about yet is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, I'm going to say. That is kind of like a horror / thriller /
It's a psychological thriller. Yeah.
Psychological thriller. I loved the mystery aspects of it and like questioning the motives all the way through the book. I thought it was so fun. I had a friend gift that to me and she was like, here you go, you have to read this. I have to give it back. It's run through the friend group, but it's so good, so good.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
What do you have next for your 4 stars?
Okay, my last 4-star read was Vicious by Victoria Schwab, which is like the same as V.E. Schwab, if you ever read those books. I think it's just that she goes by Victoria Schwab for her adult books and V.E. Schwab for YA, or maybe it's vice versa. I don't really remember. I think that's the direction it is. So same author, she just uses a slightly different pen name.
So for her, V.E. Schwab, for all of those like Dark Shades Magic, is that that's YA?
I don't know. It must be. I think it is. And so Invisible Shades of Adu and Rue, I think that also is definitely YA, which is why I think that she uses V.E. Schwab there and Victoria Schwab for adult. Vicious was super fun. It's basically like, what if superheroes could exist, but they're not really good? Like if you've watched The Boys on Amazon Prime,
that show?
it kind of gives you a little bit of that.
Oh, that's
it's pretty dark, but really good. Yeah, it was 4 stars, super good. I really enjoyed that series too.
So the last 4 stars that I have is 6 Scorched Roses. It's the Crowns of Niaxia series, 1.5.
Oh, I still haven't read that.
It's a novella
In between?
by Carissa Broadbent.
It's in the Crowns of Niaxia series, right?
So Circling of the Wings tonight. It's right after that, and it's about some certain side characters. It's about some side characters that we have in there. It like made me so excited for the sequels because apparently what she's doing is it's going to be duology, and so this is leading into the next duology, and so now we kind of get that background a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave Brayden and Araya, but
really excited for who it's going to focus on.
Oh my god,
I'm really excited for the next book.
I think you should read the novella before you read it.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
Oh, it literally took me a day at work to read it.
Nice.
So that's my last 4-star reader.
Fun.
Yes. What do you have for your 3 stars?
Okay, so I've got a few 3.5 stars first. My first 3.5 stars is Service Model, and this is like if WALL-E, the movie, met the Murderbot Diaries, like that series, if you've read it.
I haven't read it, but I know you have read it.
Yeah, so it's sci-fi, obviously. It's following this robot who is a service model. He's like a valet, right? He's used to being kind of like the prim proper gentleman, and he is the prim proper gentleman until he murders his owner. And after he ends up sort of leaving / escaping his home that he lives in, he realizes that the outside world is maybe not what he expected anymore. Things are falling into disarray and no one really knows what's going on. And he is on a mission to find self-purpose and figure out what's going on and figure out why he killed his owner.
That does sound like WALL-E.
I know. And so it gets a little bit of a WALL-E of like almost a like innocence from this, even though he like murdered his owner, but like he feels like such an innocent character because all he wants to do is fulfill the tasks that he's supposed to. But it also has the Murderbot Diaries where it's like the robot no longer feels like he's doing what he was intended to do, and how does he explore the world with what feels like different freedoms than he had before.
Oh my god, that's kind of sad. That sounds sad.
This was another really anticipated release for me.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. This is the broken binding. I did like it. It just wasn't as funny as I want it to be.
Oh, because the rest has been pretty funny.
Yeah, it was really marketed to be as funny as the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, and it just wasn't as funny.
My next 3 stars is No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. It's like a thriller. It's fine. I don't really have anything else to really say about it. It's fine.
It was good, not memorable.
Yeah, good, not memorable.
All right, next I've got Hawk by Jessie Hall. This is on Kindle Unlimited. It is a very spicy book.
Oh!
A girl with a super lame boyfriend. His friend, who has just been released from prison, starts living with them, and he is way hotter than the boyfriend is, and I just will leave it at that. So this So
That's hilarious.
so that's hot. It was 3.5 stars. I thought I had a good time. It wasn't my favorite, but I had a good time.
Also 3 stars, which is super unfortunate because last year I rated the rest of the series 5 stars. No, The Soul of a Witch by Riley LaRue.
The Witch?
The Soul of a Witch.
Oh, you only give it 3.5 stars?
I only gave it 3.
3 stars? Wow.
Such a bummer. It took me for freaking ever to get through it.
Did you not like the girl, or like what did you not like
I
out
think
of it?
that must have been what it was, because it was from her point of view, where I feel like the other ones were from both of their point of views. Like, you still get the demon's point of view, but the other ones you get, I don't know, it was just faster.
Oh wait, this is the third one.
Yeah, this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking this was the second one. I was
No.
like, you didn't like the second. No, I love the second one.
Last year, I gave the first and the second one 5 stars.
Yeah.
I love those ones.
I will say I thought the third was the weakest also.
Yeah, it was just like a little bit slower and a more backstory, and it's like, I wanted some spice. I want demon spice. I wanted that demon spice.
Oh, so that was your one erotica of the year.
That must have been. Yeah, that must have been. But it wasn't even that erotic.
Oh yeah, it was. You don't think so?
Not as much as the other ones.
My last, my last 3.5 stars was Ruthless Vows. So this is the second and final book in the duology with Divine Rivals.
Yeah.
The Letters of Enchantment. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, duology. I'm pretty sure I gave Divine Rivals 4 stars. I kind of knew this probably wasn't going to be my sort of book as much, but we agreed to do an episode on it. So we've got a full episode if you want to hear more of my thoughts on this. It was fine. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. It just wasn't a book for me.
Yeah. And, which is hilarious because we thought this was going to be the book for you.
Yeah, it was more on the fantasy side than Divine Rivals. Divine Rivals was very historical fiction feeling, and this was more historical fantasy romance. Like, I feel like fit more in there, you know, but this wasn't for me.
Go listen to our Divine Rivals / Ruthless Vows.
Yeah.
We have lots and lots of thoughts on them. So, my next 3 stars is A Clash of Embers by Britt Stark, and this is going to be the second to A Clash of Stars by Britt Stark. And I liked it. I don't know, it was going to be my top of the year. I thought it was fun. I thought it was like a fun continuation of the story. There were some points where I was like, we'll see how it continues. Yeah, it just was my favorite of the year.
Yeah, on a similar note, I have for 3 stars, The Day Burns Bright by Amber Palmer. I loved her first trilogy, as you heard me talking about earlier. I do really enjoy it, and I like her writing. I just think Rion wasn't really my favorite of like the male characters that she's written. And so it just didn't hit for me as well.
Yeah.
It was fine. It just, didn't hit for me. There was a twist that I didn't love quite as much.
Yeah.
So it was okay. I'm really excited to see, though. I know she's talking about another couple of series that she's tossing around in her mind, and I'm really looking forward to those coming out.
Right. My 2-star was The Curse of Immortality by Akira Varma. And it was sent to us, and so we really, really appreciate that.
Writing wasn't there for you.
The writing wasn't there for me, and I think maybe it wasn't for me. I feel like some editors need to go through it, and yeah,
some room for growth.
Some room for growth for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much for sending it to us. But
my only 2-star was a duet with a Siren Duke, and that's mostly because it's really hard for me to give 2 stars because it means I had to have finished the book.
What are you going to say?
But like, I'll DNF a book usually before I'll finish a book and give it 2 stars.
Same.
So it's hard to fall in that category. But what's really unfortunate, this is also Elise Cove, the same author as Air Awakens.
Oh.
And this is the I always forget the name of this series. It doesn't matter. It's like a Dance with a Fae Prince, and there's some other ones in there too. And I think the other ones I gave all 4 stars and above. I really liked the rest of the books in the series.
Yeah.
I think the Duel with the Vampire Lord I didn't love as much either. But God, this one just dragged on.
Oh, no.
I kind of liked the ending. The ending was sort of nice. But oh my god, it's really dragged on. I was just really pushing myself to finish it. It was,
You're like, I can't
it was
do it,
unfortunate.
I can't do it.
I think she has one more coming in it, and I'm not sure what creature it is for this one, because I know there's been a fae, siren, vampire, I think one more, and I'm not remembering. So she's got one more coming. I'm not remembering what creature it is, but yeah, I'll definitely read it because I did like the other one so much. But yeah,
you have to finish the series.
That one I would skip if you were. They're all interconnected standalones, so it's the same world following different couples.
I do love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
So that's my only 2-star.
So do you have any DNFs?
I got 2 DNFs. Do you have any DNFs?
And I have to be honest, this is the only books that I think I've ever DNF'd in my entire life.
Really? This is your first time ever DNFing?
Yes, because my TBR is so long that I'm like, I have so many things that I want to have to read that I'm like, you know what? I can't read this, and who knows? Maybe I'll come back to it, maybe I won't. So my first one is Blood and Honey.
And you really liked the first one.
I loved the first one. The first of the trilogy is Serpent and Dove. I gave the first one, I think I gave it 5 stars.
It was at least 4 or 4.5.
It was at least
4 or 4.5, yeah.
I loved the first one. I did not like the second one. I felt like it dragged on and it was so different. And I just...
Second book syndrome.
Second book syndrome. I didn't like it.
My first DNF, kind of in the same way. I'm hoping will be a soft DNF, and that's The Emperor's Bone Palace. This is the second book in the Infernal War Saga by Haley Turner. Last year, I gave the first book 4.5 stars. It was one of my top rated books of the year. That was The Prince's Poison Vow.
This is
the steampunk adult fantasy.
Yeah.
Got a couple different romance subplots, male, female, some female.
Well, you just raved about the book last.
It was a really fun and different world, super different world. And I think I waited too long before I started this one.
Yeah.
And it's just it is a very complex world, and it was the wrong time for me to pick it up, and I just didn't get into it. So I do think I'll come back to it, but I softy enough it for now.
But my next one is Saber's Bride by Amber Palmer. I've been in the middle of her first trilogy, absolutely loving it. We absolutely adore her on social media. I think I just wasn't in the right headspace to read her next trilogy. I really like The Night Runs Red.
I think we read it right after Hofast, and both of us were feeling super reading burnt out, and so I think that influenced our opinion of it a little bit.
I totally agree with you. I think maybe when I go back and reread it and just I think I'm going to start from the beginning and just restart it because I feel like I needed a break.
My last DNF is Fortune Falls by Lou Vane. Okay. This is a dystopian YA. It had been recommended to me if I liked Divergent and Maze Runner and Hunger Games and all the things of the dystopian YA of my teenage years.
Yeah.
The writing just wasn't. I think I got 15% into that. The writing was not for me. I mean, part of it was that it was super YA, but also I was just this stopped me. It was very. It was the type of basic sentence structure where it kind of hurts to read a little bit.
Oh no.
So just not for me. I think maybe a true YA audience is better on that one.
I get you on that.
And that was it. That's all I've read this year. What else you got?
Please don't hate me.
Yeah.
My last DNF that I have is The Finish Line.
You missed the emotional impact.
I really did, and this is the third book in the.
Did you finish the second one?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, I finished. I loved the first one. I loved the second one.
You didn't get past the sad part in the third one, did you?
No, probably not.
You gotta get the first part of that book is long and sad.
Yes.
It's very depressing.
So soft DNF, maybe I'll come back to it.
Come back to it when you want to cry. I can't believe you're not invested afterwards. I'm so surprised. I really thought you were gonna love that. I know. I think that's probably.
I loved the first two.
that's probably the series I'm the most surprised about on your rating.
Honestly, same.
Because I really thought you were going to love that, especially because you love people and like that side of it so much.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about your mid-year wrap-up?
I think it was about where I was expecting it to be. There's been some high highs, been some low lows.
Yeah.
But overall, it's been decent enough.
Yeah.
I think I've been pushing myself a little bit to try some different things. And
Good. That's what you want.
sometimes that wins and sometimes it doesn't. But it was good. I've got some exciting books that I want to read for the rest of the year. And I'm hoping that I'll get my numbers up a little bit more.
So what do you think your TBR looks like for the rest of the year then?
I think I'm going to get through the rest of the Red Rising series.
Hell yeah, we are.
I want to get through the rest of Storylight Archive so that when Wind and Truth comes out in December, I can read that. That's book 5.
Oh my gosh.
So I definitely want to read that. I kind of want to either read or listen to the Tom Felton biography. Or autobiography. I think that'll be kind of interesting to have the insight of Draco Malfoy as a kid, you know? And then I've got some really good arcs that I've gotten from a few authors too, so I'm hoping to slip some of those in there as well.
Literally same.
What about you?
I definitely want to get through the Red Rising series. I think that's exactly what I've been needing this year. I think I kind of want to mix in a little bit more of like erotica. So like
Fun.
we've been reading so much fantasy romance, and I'm like, it gives you a little bit of spice, a little bit of taste. But I think with sci-fi, I'm like, I want to read these like really heavy like science fiction, but like I also want like the erotica, so I might need to download some things on my Kindle.
Well, that's how you can see why I have some of each.
Exactly.
Because I read my real books until it gets dark, and then I read my Kindle after it gets dark.
Kindle After Dark.
Kindle After Dark.
Kindle After Dark. So send us your Kindle After Dark recommendations, please, because we need some, obviously. I think the rest of my year is really just going to look like Red Rising, erotica. I think the beginning of next year, though, is where it's really going to come in heavy. We're going to have the third of the Empyrean series.
Onyx Storm. Storm Realms.
Actor 6 is rumored
sometime next year, hopefully.
Is it Red Rising?
The last book in that, I don't remember what it's called, but the Calamity Fiasco series, that third book is coming out. I'm definitely going to read that next year.
We might have some interviews coming up, so keep in tune for that.
Fun stuff.
It's been a really fun year so far, and I can't wait. It's fun to look at. We just had our 1-year episode, and so it's really fun to look at like what we've been covering for the last year and what we're going to cover for the next year. And yeah, it's very exciting to see how we're growing and developing. So
sweet.
How fun.
Well, thanks for joining us. I hope the first half of your year was good for reading, and wishing for all of us to have a good second half.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining, guys.
We'll see you next week. Bye.